Microsoft has announced that support for Windows 10 will end on October 14, 2025. After this date, Windows 10 will no longer receive regular updates, including security updates, functional enhancements, and technical support. Officially, one of the main reasons for discontinuing support for Windows 10 is security vulnerabilities, which expose users to cyber attacks. While this claim is valid, it can be logically assumed that another significant reason is Microsoft's desire for the majority of users to transition to the new version, Windows 11. However, to use Windows 11, you need to meet certain technical requirements. Your computer must have at least a 64-bit processor with 2 cores, a processor speed of at least 1 GHz, a processor compatibility with TPM 2.0 Trusted Platform Module, a minimum of 4 GB of RAM, a graphic card compatible with DirectX 12, secure boot compatibility, at least 64 GB of free space on the hard drive, and so on. If you don't have the funds or simply do not want to purchase a new hardware or a new computer just to install and use Windows 11, there is a straightforward way to install Windows 11 on computers that do not meet the hardware requirements. First, download Windows from the official Microsoft website. The link will be in the video description. When you visit the site, find the section that says Download Windows 11 Disk Image. Click on drop-down menu and select Windows 11. Then click on Download Now button, after which you will have the option to choose your preferred language. I will select English, but you can choose any language you prefer. After that, click the Confirm button and you will receive details about your settings. In my case, as you can see, it is Windows 11, English United States, and its 64-bit version. To download the installation file, click the Download button again and save the file. After downloading Windows, you will also need Rufus to create a boot disk. Rufus is a free, portable, and open-source program used for creating boot disks. The download link will be in the video description. When you visit the website, find the section that says Download and download one of the available versions. I will choose the first option. When you run Rufus, in the first field, labeled Device, select the USB drive where you want to write Windows 11. In the second field, labeled Boot Selection, click the Select button and choose the Windows 11 ISO file that we previously downloaded from the official Microsoft website. In the Partition Scheme section, the GPT option will be automatically selected, which is the technology used on relatively newer computers. Since you want to install Windows 11 on an old computer that does not meet the technical requirements, click on the drop-down menu and select MBR Master Boot Record, which will automatically change the target system to BIOS. When you click Start button, the new window will appear, which is the most important part of this video. The first option, Remove Requirements for 4 GB RAM, Secure Boot, and TPM 2.0, allows you to install Windows 11 on a computer that does not meet the technical requirements. By checking this option, you effectively bypass the hardware requirement checks. The second option, Remove Requirement for an online Microsoft account, allows you to install Windows 11 without needing to create a Microsoft account. If you do not have a Microsoft account or simply do not want to use it for automatic sign-in within Windows, it is recommended to leave this option checked. The third option allows you to create a username that will be used in Windows. If you wish, you can name your computer here, or you can do it later. The fourth option, set regional options to the same values as these users. If you check this option, the newly installed Windows 11 will have the same regional settings as the computer you are using to create the disk. The fifth option, which is advisable to keep checked, is Disable Data Collection, Skip Privacy Questions. Microsoft requires you to answer questions during the installation of Windows 11 that are used to configure your system. If you want to avoid this unnecessary data collection, leave this option checked and all questions will be skipped. And the sixth option is Disable BitLocker Automatic Device Encryption. This option will prevent the automatic encryption of your hard drive. This is useful if you plan to use another encryption program, such as VeraCrypt. Of course, if you change your mind, you can later encrypt the disk using BitLocker within Windows itself. It is important to note that to install Windows 11 on a computer that does not meet the technical requirements, the only mandatory option that must remain checked is the first one. All other options are optional. After you configured everything according to your preference, click OK to confirm your choice. You will then receive a warning that the USB drive will be formatted, meaning it will be completely erased. If you have any important data on the USB drive, make sure to back it up to another location before proceeding with this process. Click OK to confirm, after which the process of creating the boot disk will begin. Once Rufus has finished creating the boot disk, restart your computer, boot from the USB drive, and install Windows 11. To do this, press the key that allows you to select the boot drive from which the operating system will start. In my case, it is F12, but depending on the computer you are using, it may be a different key. Usually, during the startup of the computer, a message will appear indicating which key to press to access the boot device selection menu. During the installation of Windows 11, you will have the option to enter a product key, if you have one. If you do not, you can skip this part. You will also have the option to choose the version of Windows you want, such as Home or Pro Edition. Thanks to everyone who took the time to watch this video. I hope you find it useful or at least informative.